Hey guys, it's Colin Unicorn, and today's video is going to be a little bit different because we're reviewing actually a viewer's gameplay, which is a little bit weird for me since I don't think I'm that great at the game. I'm low plat 3 consistently. I have a 1.5 KD this season, but yeah, Ultimate Killer asked some help in the comments, and since he was a viewer who's commented a lot, I was just like, hey, just send in some gameplay and I'll go ahead and review it since that's the best way I can give advice. Now, again, I don't think I'm the best person at Siege or really any of the top like 10% even, but I love thinking about Siege. I love learning more about Siege, and that competitive FPS environment is really special to me. I watch a lot of pro leagues. I analyze a lot of gameplay just on my off time. So this is, I think, it's gonna be fun, and I think you guys can learn something from it, as well as I can learn something from the gameplay. Because if you keep an open mind, you can learn from just about anything. And yeah, let's just get right into it. I have to mention this is actually a quick match and not ranked, so I'll be talking about less about team play and like operators you should choose and stuff, and just focus more mechanically and how to win gunfights, what you should be looking out for when you're trying to win gunfights, and that's about just team play and utility and all that. And also, I did record this video like an hour ago, but when I was editing, the audio didn't come through. So hopefully, this video, this time recording it, it'll be fine. So I'm not going straight off the cuff here, but that does give me time to more precisely make my points. Yeah. Also, I want to mention I did talk to Ultimate Killer before this, and it sounds like he's mechanically sound, but he's just having trouble just game wise. So we'll watch the whole thing through again. Maybe I missed something before. Just certain aspects of this game, particularly that are troublesome. Maybe game sense, game knowledge, that stuff like that. So that's what I'm gonna be looking out for. You can see he picked Thermite. That's a good operator. If you like it, you like it. His gun's not the best, but it is pretty solid, and its utility is very nice, even if as a solo player. See Rook there, and he goes for a swing in. The guy shot the drone, pre-fires it, wins that gunfight. But there's another guy behind in the same room. I wouldn't have exactly went for the swing in there. I know you used your drone and you did see the Rook looking at turned around. So you might have not been paying attention, but I think a straight swing in might have not been the play. Especially since you're on Repel, and Repel on this side particularly is so prone to run out and stuff. I think you gotta be a little less aggressive if you're going from this window in particular. Also, a quick mention if you don't know that this is sight, so swinging in straight inside whilst at the start of the round. Not the smartest plays, but it was good thinking. You droned out, you used your drone, you saw Rook wasn't paying much attention to that window, so you just went and swung in and pre-fired this. You did actually miss something with your eyes here, since that was a smoke you saw that goes in and now it pops a Rook. So maybe you thought it was just the one guy, but with all the chaos you didn't really take notice. But so Siege is a bit hard since of all those skins and the camouflage sometimes, but really that might have been avoided if you actually recognize that it was a Rook and that it was a smoke and a Rook that you were shooting at. Going for Thermite. I'm guessing that Thermite's a safe pick for you. You kind of can't forget. I know sometimes I don't play with utility most of the time with quick match, but you do have to take into account that maybe you should have opened up a wall, or see if you could open up a wall before just running in there. But it is the first round. People get aggressive. It's not that big of a deal, in my opinion. Got your drone killed twice in both rounds. What I'd recommend if you're playing solo and trying to be aggressive is to just save your drone, because saving your drone, having a drone as a backup, is so super good if you're playing alone, since you can join yourself in, they kill the drone, you can drone in again, and be 100% sure on where you saw your enemy or opponent or whatever. Should you say? I don't. I've been thinking about this, and should you say opponent or enemy when I refer to the other like team? Because I think opponent sounds nice, but then enemy sounds like aggressive. Nice use of drone. You cleared out uh, lower arcade and clearing out barrels. You know it's clear. I probably would have checked the roof here since there is a hatch and the wall is destructible, but you probably could have seen that anyway. Oof. Killed from upper arcade. See, you rushed too fast into things again. You had time to drone once you actually took the map control of barrels. You had your drone right there. Checking upper arcade is super helpful in this situation. I get what you're trying to go for here. You're trying to use the thermite breach as a distraction, I guess, and then hopefully you caught someone off guard. But you just didn't clear your surroundings, so I wouldn't be confident in making that play until I droned out. That's just me though. You could have spotted him. Since your drone is here, it only takes a quick 3 seconds to go up on the stairs and spot out anyone who's looking down, and clear out blue as well, that blue angle. Uh,
The diffuser is now secured.
those are pretty big mistakes, but other than that, and sorry, I haven't said anything really positive yet, but there wasn't really much to see, so you're only alive for 30 seconds. Hopefully on defense it's better, and I know it gets better since I did watch this before. Yeah, you have to be a lot more careful on attack, on where you push and how you attack. It is super it's super dicey going into the enemy's territory and without having properly droned. You did shallow drone, and that's good. Shallow droning is good if you want to push up aggressively and take map control fast. But for making a play and trying to get some kills, it's might not be the best. Not really sure on what operator. Alibi is a good pick. If we go, I've seen you look like you're going for a solo, aggressive type play. So
Secure the bomb.
Alibi is a good pick. Her utility is very good for playing solo and roaming, and her gun's amazing at headshots, even though it might be a bit of a pea shooter if your aim isn't right. Yeah, so hopefully this round we get to see a lot more of your gameplay. See, you set up these you're setting up a run out here, which is interesting because you didn't check for runouts when you were rappelling down that same wall. So you do know that that wall is prone to runouts, but you didn't really check for any. There's a nice safe little angle here. You're holding sight. You are stacked with a lot of your teammates though, and I want to make a point of that because being stacked with your teammates isn't necessarily a good idea, especially early round. It just makes the attacker's job a lot easier. And especially as a solo player, being stacked with someone else, yeah, you can bait them, but half the time they do just get in the way, and they do take your angles, and they do die to gunfights and maybe accidentally shoot you, which is always the bane of solo queue players, is having teammates that really just get in your way for some reason. Since Siege is a team-based game, and people doing that just drops your chance of winning significantly. That's a nice kill here. He sprints out, but grabs a down, spots a guy right next to the vending machine, and he decides to push it. Yeah, that gunfight could have gone better. I see your mechanical skill coming in. This was a nice peek. This was a nice angle hold, and a very nice shot, especially since they're so distracted about your teammate down the hall there in break room. Well, the room next to break room. I forget what that's called. But the sprint out here, I think you're trying to gather momentum. That's what I see a lot of aggressive people do. They get one kill and then they run up. They get another kill. They get another kill. They get another kill, and then they eventually have an ace, which is momentum in those types of moments are so crucial, and the timing is so like small, and you need to really play with that in mind. But since you're on site, I don't think it was this sprint straight away situation, which comes from like a COD mentality. I think I've seen a lot of players do that, and I used to do it a lot, and I see my friends do it a lot. They kill someone and then they sprint out without checking any angles, without orienting themselves properly. They don't know where anyone is. They just which you could have lost your life there easily, since I think the sprinting also comes from like giving away your position, and then you're super worried about, oh, the enemies know where I am now, so I have to reposition, or I have to take the gunfight to them, and that just isn't the case here. You clearly have cover here that you can hide from. You clearly have teammates that are covering the same hallway, so you didn't need to push it. But if you do want to kill, you shouldn't have sprinted out so far, and you should have actually just checked that angle immediately. You don't even need to sprint, because it's probably faster if you didn't sprint at all and just like turn the corner ADS'd. But you know, you won the gunfight there. You have time to reload here. There's a guy looking at you, but it just feels like you're panicking a little bit in this moment right here, which isn't great. You don't need to peek this. You have time to reload, especially since they can't push up if your teammates are watching that angle. Like, I didn't catch you here, right? So, and you knew you killed someone behind you, so you knew you're safe from behind you for at least like 2-3 seconds, which is enough time to reload, which only takes about 400 milliseconds. So did not need to push this. Could have stayed behind cover here. I don't know if this actually if he can actually see your head while you're over here, probably, but you know, you could have proned. And since he didn't catch you here, you didn't need to peek that. Maybe you thought you reloaded and then you peeked it, but either way, it was I think just bad decision making. And you look like you're mechanically sound, because you did get that headshot. You got the follow up down, like very, like solidly. It was a bit dicey, but you made it anyway. So I think just I think this really is a problem of game sense, and just like your mental aspect towards the game, and trying to memorize where people are, and which angles to hold, which angles to take, and your positioning. But you guys got through that round with that guy's clutch. So here we are, second defense round, picking alibi again, which is, you know, is good. As a solo player, lots of solo players just tend to play the same operators over and over again, which is it's good to have a main, especially if you don't have a lot of time to spend on the game, and you don't have a lot of time to learn everyone's gadgets and setups. It's good just playing the same operator over and over again until you're confident in it. And setting up your prismas again. It's actually good to have a prisma in your pocket, especially as an alibi, because you can use that to trick people. You know, let's say you get caught shooting and then you run away. You can put your prisma down, have your opponent shoot that prisma, and then sneak up on him and get an easy headshot with the pings. Especially if you're roaming, which it looked like you might be. That guy comes out of nowhere. Yeah, that's good reaction time. And you won that gunfight. I'm not sure why he sprinted so close to where sight is. So it looks like you are good mechanically, because you know, you don't even hear this guy. He comes up sprinting. 3 speeds are way too quiet. So Nice reaction time, and you did get the kill. You didn't like overswing. You just pre-fired the corner and tried to line it up and tried to make him peek, which is good. That's you deserve to win that one. That's a nice angle, little angle there, but this guy checks it. So I think that's just kind of unfortunate. I don't usually play Jorgen Lab in Theme Park in a ranked because it's the weaker of the 3 other sites on the map. But hey, so I guess there's stuff for me to learn on this site particularly. Fuses up top, you know, one's in blue. Pre-fire spray. Trying to wallbang, which is, you know, it's pretty good. Wallbanging is not such a bad idea, especially with such a high fire rate gun like the MX. This guy swings in, and you down him, finish him off. That's nice. He just a little dumb play by him, so he got punished for it. They're opening up the rooftop, so you gotta be careful of that. Where is Rook right now? Oh, site. See, now it's good to be on site since it's a 3v2. You guys can hold it down together. But again, I kind of want to see there's a nice push here. Nice kill. Good shot. Dies from up top. Yeah, and Namar from up top. Yeah, it looks like you know what you're doing, but then after you just don't have a good sense of your surroundings and checking for if players are there. You got to be a little bit more careful, especially if you're trying to play in that aggressive frag type role. This was a good play here, and getting this kill, just reloading, a nice kill. But you just, after you got that kill, it just seemed like you didn't know what you were doing, and you weren't taking into account where the other guy could be, or you weren't even looking for him. You just decided to walk up the stairs and reload. The greatest like fragging type players and aggressive type players have the best situational awareness. They just know where people are and where they could be and where potential positions they could be in. Just stuff like that is they keep into account all the time, and it's something that you need to do, especially as a solo player. Should have checked straight away. You don't need to turn around. You know, you could have killed this guy and then walked into barrels and then reloaded, using that as cover, and then tried to suss out where the other guy is. But instead you decided to just walk out in the open and look nowhere, and you got punished for that. So it's good to keep into account, especially when you're trying to gain momentum. It looks like you're mechanically pretty good. We've actually talked about it before, and you said that you did practice a lot on your aim and stuff. Set up an angle there. So you're going back to site here where everyone is. Why, like, you guys are so stacked in this one area, and it's something to be you need to take into account as an individual player. Stacking with other people isn't the best move strategically wise, just because you're holding the same angles, you're looking the same way, you're fighting the same people, which is stacking like this on site when it's like the last 30 seconds or the last minute. That's a good idea. When it's the start of the round, it's dicey, because then you're just giving so much map control to the defenders. You're just giving so much map control to the attackers, and you're just letting them you're basically screaming at them, "Hey, we're all here, so just kill us," And see that walls open up almost immediately, and you're being tracked by a jackal because you ran into that other room before. See, if you stayed in that room and maybe just hid in a corner somewhere, you could have gotten maybe the jackal and the thermite here, and that wall wouldn't be open. But now you have to fight in this kind of awkward position where the shield there is good, so you got a kill there. See, you are checking for the right angles, and you're kind of trying to predict where players could be, and you can play here because there's a shield right next to you. But if someone didn't put that shield down, then playing here would be a lot more dicey. It's good you're worrying about the one angle that you should worry about, since your other teammates have the other ways. You're trying to check it a little bit, and you know you can do that because you have cover from the shield, and you got a nice kill there too. So like really, it looks like you're good mechanically, but you could have gotten those kills if you maybe played a little bit more aggressive. That's all I'm saying. Because it sounds like it looks like you're good and you're trying to be aggressive. You're trying to be a Fragger type player, but you're just kind of afraid to die and afraid to risk your life a little bit, which is those two things don't mix. You need to, in order to be aggressive, you need to not be afraid to die. You know, don't be reckless. Still be careful, but play in positions that have more confidence in yourself to play in riskier positions. That's a pixel angle. You hear someone coming from upper arcade now. You do move out the way.
Last stop standing. 15 seconds left.
Last 15 seconds. This is a good kind of
Time expires.
a good play since it's the last 10 seconds. You know, 3v1. The guy might not be looking at that angle particularly. I would have pre-fired for this specific gunfight. I would have pre-fired a little earlier. You have the pings. They're your own pings from your own alibi setup. So that's good. You just relied on your reaction time a little bit too much there, and that got you killed. But, you know, you guys won the round. Oh, that guy drop shotted. Hip fired. But yeah, you got, I mean, like, the gunfights that you did take and that you were trying to win, they were good. They were just, I'm not sure you're thinking overall about, like, the best position you could be in. Like, your alibi, you can go way more aggressive, play in a position that, in a riskier position like this, and just have trust in your aim, like, because you did say that you were practicing aim, and it looks like that you do have good aim. You know where to pre-fire, you know how to peek, you know how to like quickly face check. They're all, you know which angles to hold. They're all good, like just gunfight mechanics that you take into account, and you do. But how to be better, you know, you have to use those, really try and stretch yourself out and put yourselves in those tough situations, and you just try to put yourself in more of those tough situations where you really have to rely and really stretch out your mental capacity. You know how to, like, if you know 3 people are pushing you, like, you have to predict exactly where those 3 people are and which angles to hold first, and how they're gonna stack and push you. Like, if you were here, like, that'd be like, you might have gotten 2 free kills that easy, but instead you decided to play it safe, and yeah, you won the round. But I don't think this really doesn't show that you're trying to like improve, since this feels like you're very comfortable being here and using your teammates as a bait, which is good. A lot of those high kill games are actually mostly from just baiting teammates and getting your teammates getting the guys low and you just finishing them off. At least that is for me when I get those 18 kill games. But, you know, there's way too many people in the same spot here holding the same angles, where you're just picking up scraps essentially, instead of really trying to learn how to take these gunfights. Like, this is a good learning experience right here. You should have pre-fired a little more. You had the ping, and eventually when you die to stuff like that over and over, you learn. You do learn. So play it a bit more risky. You have the aim. Just be more confident in it, and I think that's really the way to go up from there. And that's on defense anyway. On attack, be drawn out a little more. I didn't get to see attack a lot. Barely, actually. But yeah. One comment I will make on attack is that I think you focused way too much on sight, even though you didn't drone out sight properly and you didn't know if there were any roamers or anything. So, drone properly. Take your battles, your gunfights linearly. Take out a roamer. Don't expose yourself too much. You already get the gist, I think. But you don't have to be focused on taking sight, since it's really is not that useful, especially since it's so early in the round. People could be everywhere on the map except outside where they get spotted. So that's the only thing I really would give advice for. Anyway, that's it for the video. I had fun doing this. I actually really like analyzing stuff like this, so if you guys have more, send it my way. In the description below, I'll put in how you can send me your gameplays if you guys want me to review more. This is fun. I think I'd like to do more. I definitely would like to get better at this and be more coherent when I explain things. But yeah, but as for now, just it was fun. Like and subscribe. That's the end of the video. Follow me on Twitch, because I might do this live on Twitch. Actually, that would be nice as well. Different from just playing Siege. And yeah, ciao. Land randomly in between these lines in sort of a circle diameter type situation. You get movement penalties and you get shooting penalties when you're hip firing.